Thank you for watching RooTV.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode on RooTV. I'm Marissa Leggio.
And I'm Grace Kertz. Kansas City was painted red on Wednesday, February 15th, as Chiefs fans celebrated the Super Bowl win with a parade. Stay tuned to hear details about the event.
For 35 consecutive years, the Mercury Association organized an internship brunch or dinner, but was forced to stop due to the COVID-19 virus. However, the organization has made its way back to campus just 4 years later. The Mercury Association brought their tradition back to life this year with a Valentine's Day brunch. Internship coordinator and Mercury Association advisor Linda Kurz says, "It's been a journey. We really had to reapply as a student organization." While the internship brunch has passed, keep an eye out for future Mercury Association events around campus and check out the annual internship brunch next year.
A group of senators from UMKC's Student Government Association are forming an environmental council. They strive to increase awareness about environmental problems and solutions and want to work together to make lasting changes. SGA Internal Affairs Director Cameron Quick stated their goal is to give students the opportunity to make doable, daily routines to encourage not only when they are a student on campus, but after they graduate. These senators petitioned for their council on February 20th, and they encouraged students to support them by signing their petition.
A Kansas City police officer, his K-9 partner, and a pedestrian died in a crash last Wednesday night. A press conference was released and identified the officer and K-9 partner as James Muehlbauer and K-9 Officer Champ. James, a 20-year veteran of KCPD, along with 3 years in the department's K-9 unit, was an Omaha native. According to Omaha police, he was born and raised in South Omaha. Muehlbauer is the first Kansas City Police Department officer to die in the line of duty in more than 20 years. He is being remembered for being a good cop and a hard worker. Muehlbauer leaves behind a wife and 10-year-old son and will be laid to rest Wednesday, February 22nd.
Now, let's head over to sports with Jackson Ogden.
Welcome back into the den. I am Jackson Ogden, and I have my voice back this week. Good thing, because last week that was tough to listen to. I know that scratched my voice. It was annoying for me, so I know it had to be annoying to listen to, but you got to understand, I was on a natural high with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. But of course, the world moves on. The offseason begins. And in Chiefs world, longtime offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is heading to the Washington Commanders to become their offensive coordinator. So no, that spot is vacant in Kansas City. I'll update that as we know more throughout the next few weeks. But let's get into Kansas City sports. Not going to be a long episode here today. Let's just go over a few things. Men's hoops went 0-2 on the week last week with losses to North Dakota State and North Dakota. On senior night, the lone senior Sam Martin dropped 15 points in one of his few starts on the season. Let's head over to Coach Marvin Menzies in the postgame to hear what he thought of the performance.
Very spirited halftime conversation. I thought they responded. Didn't equate to a win, but I thought they responded. Much like at North Dakota after the loss, they responded to the request of the coaches on Friday to get a win at North Dakota State. So I like the way they respond. I can't wait till they're player-led and they're doing that themselves on the floor and holding each other accountable and having constructive criticism of each other and them taking it and understanding that their brother to the left and to the right is the most important thing in the game and elevating them while at the same time doing their job. And we're not there yet, but that's the mission.
Women's basketball also went 0-2 on the week to North Dakota State and North Dakota, and they are going to be at home for the final time this season this week on Thursday night versus South Dakota State, and then on Saturday for Senior Day versus South Dakota. So make sure to go check them out if you haven't all season. Go support some of the seniors that have put in a lot of work to this program. And last but definitely not least, softball is now 3-6. They're just getting started this season, and they're set for the UTEP Invitational this weekend. They won't have a home game until March 25th, so you won't have a chance to see them for a little bit now. But make sure you're catching up with them because they are well underway. They're playing down south where it's a little warmer. You know, it's been okay up here in Missouri, but it's still a little too cold to play softball. By March 25th, fingers crossed, hopefully the weather will be nice enough to go out and enjoy some softball. That's all I have for today's episode. Let's go ahead and kick it over to Joshua Cunningham with Lifestyle and Culture.
Welcome back to Lifestyle and Culture. I'm your host, Joshua Cunningham, and today I want to talk a little bit about culture, specifically Black culture. I just want to give some of my top 5 favorite Black artists and, just talk about their impact on the culture, but just not only on the Black culture, but just on the world. So I want to first give a shout out to Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. They made a big impact on my life, and also just to be in the time of the 1940s and 1950s where so much segregation was going on, so much political turmoil, so much struggle, and to make it to stardom where not only the Black culture is listening to you, but also the white culture is listening to you and listening to your music is just such a amazing feat and truly inspiring. So I want to give a shout out to Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong for sure. And then after that would have to be Michael Jackson. Just his impact on every culture in general, probably being, if not the most famous, one of the most famous artists of all time. And also, just making it to a height that we didn't really think a lot of Black people would be able to make it to, and being seen in my eyes as the best artist of all time and seen in a lot of people's eyes, and just inspiring so many generations to follow their dreams, become artists, become whatever they want to be. It's truly inspiring. But for more recent artists, I would like to say Kendrick Lamar. He's been a staple in the Black community for years now. Just from, I don't know, he's inspiring so many. Even his cousin, Baby Keem, has probably been inspired from what Kendrick Lamar has done and done for the culture. I mean, he makes so much music about the Black struggle and how it affects us, and I feel like it definitely helps people in understanding what it's like. And same from the next artist, which is J. Cole. He's very similar to Kendrick Lamar in the sense that he's been a staple in the Black community. He makes a lot of songs about the Black culture and what we go through and how the world around us just, affects us. I mean, if you want to hear a song about that, listen to Brackets by J. Cole. It's a really good one. But I just want to shout out them for just doing what they're doing. Again, also inspiring more people to do that, to know that lyrics in a rap song can still be good as long as, you're saying the right things and speaking about truth. So I want to appreciate them. But that's my top 5 list. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Black culture, to the artists that's inspired me in my lifetime. And if you want to hear more, come back next week on RooTV to hear more of my music opinions. Now I'm going to throw it to Afnan for her book review.
Welcome back to Book Review. My name is Afnan Hussain. This past week, I watched the show Normal People, an adaptation of Irish writer Sally Rooney's novel. I fell in love with the show, so I decided to dedicate this episode to Rooney and her many talented works. Last semester, I covered Rooney's debut novel, Conversations with Friends, and its TV adaptation. It occasionally scraped close to the bone. The book Normal People cuts straight to the core. Normal People is not out to inspire, instruct, entertain, or talk down to anyone. It is a novel that presents the truth of youthful experiences without the filters of nostalgia or sentimentality. It invites you to inhabit the psyche of someone else, two someone else's, Connell and Marianne, to identify with them. The story focuses only on the pivotal moments for these two characters, jumping forward 3 weeks, 6 months, or 5 minutes, whatever is needed, to excise all the uneventful bits of life and leave us with the most emotionally intense supercut possible. The show, more than anything, really brings the book to life, rather than offering a secondary interpretation to Sally Rooney's work. The emotion that radiates from actors Daisy Edgar-Jones and Paul Mescal is incomparable. They truly are Marianne and Connell. It's like they've been plucked right off the page, or somebody has put a camera on a reel. Whilst the plot remains almost identical and the reader still experiences the same episodic narrative style in the book as they would do watching the show, there are little insights, tidbits of information, and themes that definitely come across more when reading the book. I would rate this book and its show adaptation a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Her most recent novel, Beautiful World, Where Are You?, has climbed up my favorite book list very subtly. The book is Rooney's most natural integration of intellectual and elevated conversations among her imperfect protagonists. It follows 4 main characters and the relationships they have with one another, with the friendship between Alice and Aline taking center stage. Unlike her 2 other novels, we are taken out of the character's head and held at a distance, watching everything happen externally, and only really learning about the characters as they learn about each other. The way they particularly discuss knowing how awful the world is, but still caring so much about love and relationships and human connection is really when the relatability factor comes in. They worry about their friendships and the world they believe in. Would they find a way to believe in a beautiful world? The exquisite precision of detail in this book is truly masterful. It's believable, perceptive, and a treasure of a book. There is no film adaptation of this book, but with its success, hopefully there will be one soon. I would rate this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now it's time for an excerpt. It's still better to love something than nothing. Better to love someone than no one. And I'm here, living in the world, not wishing for a moment that I wasn't. Isn't that, in its own way, a special gift? A blessing? Something very important? If you like this book review, check out my Instagram at afhussain_ for more. Thanks for listening.
The Kansas City Chiefs victory parade spanned over a mile downtown, swelling to a rally at Union Station. The total crowd size has been estimated to be upwards of 1 million fans. In preparation, streets were closed more than 24 hours in advance. On the big day, fans began showing up before daylight, and the mass of people lined the streets as many as 10 people deep. Fans intent on getting a clear view settled on windows, climbed trees, and balanced on streetlights. Team owners, players, elected officials, and celebrities took the stage at Union Station, greeted by a colossal animated crowd. All this occurred as temperatures remained in the 30s and 40s, yet an improvement on the weather of the parade 2 years prior. Here's what Cristian Martinez of RooTV got of the parade.
After a 38-35 victory against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs hosted a championship parade last week. During a chilly Wednesday morning, fans watched trucks and buses drive through Grand Boulevard leading up to the rally. Fans like Angie prepared for the big event even as it was cold.
We're used to this. We've been to games when the wind chill's been 12 below zero. We have all the gear, so we all talked on the phone, and we're wearing our long underwear and our flannel line jeans, and I mean, we planned out what we were going to wear. Everybody met at my house at 6 o'clock this morning. We went to McDonald's so we didn't come down on an empty stomach, and I even came down last night and planned how to get here and where I was going to park.
A fellow Roo alumni was excited to return, and a former officer was excited to experience the event as a fan.
I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I used to be a season ticket holder for many years, and unfortunately I didn't keep them the last few years, but yeah, I follow the Chiefs everywhere. When they're in Florida, I go, and then it's kind of a bucket list to come to the back here for the parade, so I flew in last night, and that's the way it is. I'm ready to go.
It's exciting, being part of the community. I worked in law enforcement for a number of years, and I worked these events. Now it's kind of neat to see it on the other side and be able to partake in some of those activities and just be out here enjoying the Chiefs.
Longtime fans talked to me about how much it means to be a winning franchise for the first time in many years.
It's freaking awesome. Look at it. Look at it. Everybody came down here. We shut business down, schools down, everything. You know the city's fired up. And all day long, some of these kids ain't going to even sleep very good tonight. They're going to be so excited. It's great.
I sit here and look back at this for the years because obviously for the Super Bowl, another special. Andy was a Philadelphia Eagles coach for all those years. And when they won the first one a couple years back, I did a post and I just thanked all the Eagles fans for chasing Andy out of town.
This is Cristian Martinez with Roo News.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of RooTV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RooNewsUMKC.
See you next week.